Hey there, I'm Shana Narrow, and we are ending food addiction, stepping into our power, and manifesting radiant health of body, mind, and soul. And I want to talk about a certain way of being that comes along with food addiction and addictive behaviors. I'm going to call it reactivity. It is a certain way of being that we must learn to train ourselves into new ways of being. And this is part of the reason why I tell people and I tell my clients that it is not necessary to have to heal all of our past issues and spend years in therapy. Granted, there is value in spending time dealing with our past issues, and there are some incredible cut through techniques to release things that are pent up. But I want to talk about how we can shift our way of being, which will allow us to really begin to break our addictions in a very significant way once we master this concept. Reactivity. So, some signs that you may be living your life from reactivity, from the mode of reactivity, is if you are tending to blame others for the things in your life that you're not happy about, or if you have difficulty asking for help from other people, or if you have trouble admitting your imperfections or admitting that you made a mistake. Those are some signs. Some other signs have to do with if you're feeling very drained from encounters, or feeling like the day-to-day small little disturbances really wipe you out and are exhausting. And if you feel like you're thinking about the same things over and over again, making excuses for behaviors, these are all signs that you might be living in a mode of reactivity. Generally, what I see is that when someone is exhibiting some of these different signs that I just talked to you about, chances are they are relating to most things in their life and most people in their life from a place of reactivity. And when a person is relating from a place of reactivity, they essentially are cut off from the deeper part of themselves that holds guidance and enables them to really live from a place of feeling centered, from a place of not being attached to needing to be right, a place of not needing to satisfy our impulses, but rather we are more driven to make the choices that will provide us with a nourishment that will support us in feeling centered and balanced. So there's so many places that we can see this in our life. It's a very broad concept. It's not only when we are very reactive, like outwardly, to somebody who is bothering us, but yes, it is that. But reactivity is all ways where we are reacting instead of being able to make contact with our deeper wisdom. And so this comes out in, all matters that are pertaining to our body image, that are pertaining to our self-image, where we're going to either be in a place of reactivity, where we are basing our thoughts, our opinions, and our judgments on the past, on things that we don't like, and on our fears. Whereas when we are in a place of low reactivity, we see the bigger picture and we feel a sense of expansion because we are really, again, connected to a deeper place. We're not at that surface level where many people may be living their life from a surface level, especially if they are not feeling safe. So people who are not feeling safe, which is unfortunately so many of us, so one's whole existence can really be, it's all about reactivity. Like, in a certain sense, everything that somebody is doing is coming from a place of trying to defend themselves, trying to protect themselves, trying to make sure they feel okay, trying to not feel threatened in any way. So all of those things are causing a person to really act from this surface place, from this fear place, from this reactive place. And that place is not their true self, which means that they are going to be creating this gap between who they really are and who they are being in the present moment. And that gap can be extremely painful. When we're living from a place of reactivity, it really just perpetuates this feeling of alienation, and it perpetuates the problem. It grows and it becomes more painful, because the reason why a person in the first place goes to these protective behaviors that wind up being reactive is because they're not able to make contact with their deeper self, and that is causing them pain. And instead of connecting to how they feel and going into how they feel, which is really truly the way through it, the way to opening, to a place of expansion, to a place of connecting with guidance and with joy. So instead, a person stays very constricted, while the pain of that gap, the pain of feeling disconnected, remains with them and grows. And then frequently the reactivity grows, because actually reactivity is there to wake a person up. It's meant to actually continue pain, because pain is actually our friend. It is there to wake us up and to enable us to realize that something is not working in our life. And really, there's a basic feeling of disconnection that anyone who has not learned these skills of living from a place of connection is going to feel. That feeling of disconnection we all walk around with when we're not connected to ourselves, when we're not connected, when we don't know how to truly connect to ourselves and the people around us and really feel a sense of balance and harmony, that we are part of a much bigger organism, and we are playing a role, and there is so much potential in every moment for us to actually connect with that guidance, with that sense of connection, and feeling whole, and having that guidance is truly like what we're all really seeking. And that what truly, whether or not we're in a moment that is a very happy moment, or whether we're going through something that's more challenging, what it is that really gets everybody through is when they can live from a place of connection. That's a deep need that we're all really yearning for, and that will arise when we lose connection with ourselves, connection with our feelings. And again, so the addictive behaviors, the reactive behaviors continue and grow worse as a red flag, as a sign to allow us to really open our eyes and begin to look inward and begin to shift out of fear, out of feeling threatened, out of feeling not okay, and shift to a place of feeling acceptance for ourselves, acceptance for whatever the situation is, and open our eyes and see that whatever's happening in our life is exactly what we need, and that there is something always right in front of us that we are meant to open to and learn. And we're never going to be able to run away from this core point of shifting the way we are in the world. And creation is designed in this way, where children are very egotistical, they're self-centered, and they have to go through that stage to develop themselves, to build themselves. And then in order for maturation to happen and spiritual maturation to happen, then that ego self matures and evolves, so that a person is no longer needing to protect themselves, no longer needing to have all of these external reinforcements that they're okay. A person eventually is pushed sooner or later to needing to go inside and have that deep connection within, and have that be what guides them, that feeling of connection guiding them, and no longer needing those external reinforcements, and no longer needing to be right, and actually being able to even see that one is not always right. And that's the point of their growth. So this is really a big topic, reactivity. There's so many topics tied in. So I wanted to just give you a little bit of a taste of this. The key really is just observing when you're being reactive, when you're acting from a place of being disconnected from your inner guidance, and when you're acting from a place of just protecting your ego and needing to feel okay. These are all signs. And when you see that, when you see yourself being impulsive and choosing from a very surface need, at the expense of taking care of your deeper self, your deeper needs, acknowledging the imperfection of the moment, acknowledging the beauty in that imperfection, the potential in that imperfection for growth, really being able to surrender and open oneself and live from that place of vulnerability and willingness to just have something else guiding them, and putting connection really as what they most want versus protecting themselves, putting love over what is most important, and connection and truth. So those are all the signs that the person has shifted out of reactivity, and they are living from this sense of interconnection, and that this is what guides their life. So this is just some of the work that we all can be engaged in when we want to move past our addictions and live from a place of empowerment, choices, knowing that we can choose how we feel and how we respond to everything in our environment, and that we really can control this inner environment of ours, how we feel, our thoughts. So I hope this was helpful for you. I'm available if any of you want to talk more about how you can move forward, especially regarding ending food addiction and manifesting radiant levels of health, of body, mind, and soul. I'm going to put a link down below. If you want to sign up for a free call, I'm available. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.